if I...
Welcome to the Kokosing Dam, just on the outskirts of Fredericktown, Ohio, for the KMAC Cross Country Championships. The junior high just put their boys and girls races in the books, and we are about set to get the varsity and junior varsity underway here to determine who will be the runner of the year for both the boys and the girls, and then also who gets first team and second team, all KMAC. My name is Brian Skowronski. I'm going to be your drone pilot today and also take you through some of the event that we're seeing here with some commentary. And obviously, there are some big-time headliners that are going to be competing. Since the boys are going first, let's talk about them first. Mount Gilead, the #1 team in the state in Division III, a huge favorite to come out here and take a team victory. They are led by their senior standout, Will Baker, undefeated right now. During his senior season, he's broken the school record multiple times. And coming off of an event in late September where he put up a nationally ranked time of 14 minutes and 57 seconds, absolutely absurd for a 3.1 mile jaunt. But he's got teammates too that have been fantastic this year. We've seen them earlier at the Upper Sandusky Icebreaker finish 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 in a field that was littered with some talent. Owen Hirschner, the #2 on this team, saw him put up a 16:29 at the Tiger Classic. He's gotten better since then. Tommy Emberg, Henry Bartlett, Nolan Hirschner, all are in the low to mid 17s traditionally so far this season. So plenty of guys in the purple should be near the front of the pack. Northmor as well, a couple of dudes to keep an eye on. David Blunk has been competing in the low 17s for most of the season, and his teammate Benton Naylor coming off of an injury, so we'll see how well he's able to perform on this big stage, but gorgeous conditions out here. He's been in the low 18s in just about every competition so far this season. So definitely a kid to try to keep an eye on when we get things going here. For the Freddies, they've got kind of an inter-team competition going on. 3 dudes running in the mid-16s. Very impressive when you take a look at the likes of Noah Smith, Aiden McManus, and Josh Alexander. 3 really quality kids all lined up on the starting line as we are just about a minute and a half away from getting the boys race underway out here on the outskirts of Fredericktown. A really cool course, cooler conditions coming in here in this morning session, but the sun is poking out. It is beautiful. And there is everybody at the starting blocks. We are underway. The KMAC Championship for the fellas is going down right now, live and free. We would presume that Baker, of course, would get out to a quick, healthy start, as we'll follow the pack in and around the course here today. There's the field. I didn't get an exact head count, but just guesstimating here, it looks like about 50, 60 athletes all competing for the grand prize of KMAC Runner of the Year. Will Baker, a huge favorite to do that. But the next 10 runners that finish will be first team all KMAC. And then after that, runners that finish 11th through 21st will 12th through 21st will be second team all league this season. And just a great look here at the Kokosing Dam, one of the more picturesque sites that we have for cross country in and around north central Ohio. This, of course, that I think a lot of folks, and specifically these KMAC athletes, really like competing on. A lot of the running comes on the grass, so it's easy on the knees. and allows for these runners to just have a nice padded surface to trot on. As they're past the dam here. And looking to make their turn up and through the wooded area. Great look overhead. As the competition just getting underway, a couple of minutes in. The times that we're expecting here today, at least from Mr. Baker, probably in the low 15s. I mentioned that blistering pace that he just had of the 14:58. Can't expect that night in, night out, or morning in, morning out. But a lot of runners should finish in about that 16 to 17 minute mark, at least some of the top contenders. As they're making their loop and heading back towards this way. We are stationed right near the finish line. We will hear from, of course, the winner of both the boys and the girls events, plus some of the other top finishers. We'll try to talk with as many athletes as we have time for, and that is what is up for grabs for the teams today. Beautiful big trophy hanging out on the back of a hay bale wagon, so this is truly KMAC country out here. You see Baker is out in front. I believe that's one of his teammates closely behind. And then there's a pretty solid pack as well. About 8 different runners all competing for that third spot. A clump of 5 of them. And a lot of fans out and around the course today, taking in this action on a gorgeous morning. Picturesque conditions kicking off the start of tournament season here on the OH Report. Hard to believe that the regular season for soccer and volleyball wraps up today, and then they're going to be into their tournament action along with cross country beginning next week. And they say here in the state of Ohio that football in their season, the fastest 10 weeks of the year. It certainly doesn't seem like they're wrong. Already 8 weeks in the books, only 2 more to go. And if you've been keeping an eye on the KMAC competition, there really hasn't been any for Northmor. Undefeated right now, but got a nice test last night from Mount Gilead. Homecoming night at the castle, so a little bit of a surprise there. And then Danville, how about what they were able to do on Tough Street? Getting a shutout victory over Centerburg. Jonathan Langdon said that's the first time that's happened in quite a long time, a couple of decades, I believe. Try to get a look at who's running out there in second place. Certainly looks like it's Baker out in front. And then number 2, likely Owen Hirschner. As Baker makes his turn, he'll be coming by this way. Solid field here in the KMAC Championships. A lot of good runners in this league. And the fanfare too. Really impressed when we showed up early this morning. About 8:30 for setup. the junior high event was going on, but there were a ton of fans. Plenty of them wanted to come chit-chat with us. Just tell us about some of their favorite runners and their anticipations for today. There are some of the patrons taking in today's action. And a whole bunch of runners coming through. That section right there on the bottom of the screen is where you just saw that nice close-up shot. So they'll make their turn and bend out and around the dam. And then they'll start coming back towards this way. About 6 minutes here into the competition. Not quite at the midway point. Some great times as well today for the junior high competitors. I'll have to get some final times and some winners for you, but I think that there were a few boys that were running at like a 5.5 minute per mile pace. Of course, they do a 2-mile race at the junior high. Just absolutely exceptional for those youngsters. There's the lead side by side, and we already know who the leader is. Let's look at the amount of space in between Baker and who I presume is Hirschner, who still has not emerged out of that wooded area, but that's just how dominant Will Baker is. When we had them at the Star Stripes and Lights up in Attica, it was amazing to see how he was able to finish the competition a full minute before anybody else had a chance to take off his cleats and then come over and hang out in the winner's circle. So there are the top 3 runners and then a whole pack behind them. So this is the competition kind of competing for 4th, 5th, 6th, and that's where the real action is really going to go down as we get closer and closer to the finish. Who's going to leave enough left in the tank to try to make a hard push, try to get that first team all KMAC honor. It's a look at the finish line where these competitors are looking to get to at the end of the rainbow. Some big cheers coming right now. There's Baker. Let's follow him for a moment. Making that loop around, and you see some of those competitors coming through that are in like the 20th through 40th range, looking up ahead at Will, and they're like, he's already rounded about. Probably getting accustomed to this. He's been doing it all season, basically his whole career too. One of the top contenders, not just in the state of Ohio, ranked #1 right now in Division III, but really nationally he's been putting up some impressive times. And his teammates too. Mount Gilead, the #1 ranked team in Division III as an entire unit. Got to be impressed with this team from top to bottom. Both of the Hirschners, Owen, along with Nolan, they've been great. Tommy Emberg, seen him in the high 16s at points this year. Henry Bartlett, those mid to low 17s this season. Great times for them. And it looks like Hirschner's on a pretty good pace so far here. Owen, that is. Probably the most outstanding statistic I can spit at you, though. They've got 12 runners, 12, that can all run sub-19. And that's my note from about a month ago, so they might have even improved since then. As Baker turns his way back down and around the dam. And the second place runner way back here. I'm told that we've got Mr. KMAC here in the building. KMAC Plus, Mason Kidwill on location here this afternoon. Perhaps we'll get a chance to catch up with the college boy. He's out here getting some photos and doing what he does. Great social media follow if you're a fan of KMAction. Check him out, KMAC Plus. I follow him on the Instagram. He's always got some new rankings, and anytime something big happens in the KMAC, he is your source. Along with us, of course. Love seeing all the fans, the patrons out here this afternoon. Picked a good day to come take in some cross country. It's kind of perfect temperatures. Got the mid 60s right now. 61 degrees actually. And the sun just now peeking out. "11 minutes in, probably about 4 minutes away from seeing Will Baker cross the finish line, our first competitor. The rest of the pack still moving at some pretty nice rates. I gotta guesstimate there's probably 10 times as many fans as runners out here today. And that's the beauty of having the junior high along with the high school ranks all go on the same afternoon. Just get a lot of fan support out here. Big event. Makes these kids feel like it's a massive event because it is. Getting them ready for the tournament when they'll go into the districts and then the regionals. And then, of course, some of these competitors have big, grandiose plans of making it to the state competition. Already touched on the Indians and what they feel like they can do as a team this year in Division III. Probably the state favorites to emerge from there. And there goes Will. So Baker getting an eye on everybody else. We'll go ahead, we'll track him. Trying to get a count on just how far ahead he is here of Hirschner. We're already at about a 25-second count. So doing Will Baker type of things already. And just, I mean, look at the pace. I mean, he's keeping up with that side by side. He's probably mashing on the gas pretty decent right now. Now he'll pull aside and allow for Will to make kind of his last ascent here. Fans all around giving him encouragement as Will Baker comes through. That is your KMAC Runner of the Year, as if there was ever any doubt. Congratulations to him. And now it's all about who's going to get first team all KMAC, the next 10 runners. Second place really not up for debate. There's a shot of our champion. Doesn't even look like he's out of breath. That's what's so crazy about him. It's not even like he's working hard. So Mount Gilead, the top two finishers. Looks like the Indians actually going to account for the top three here. Here we go. This is where it's getting interesting. Fourth place, Fredericktown. A lot of great pushes here. I think we've got room for 2 more. First team all KMAC. And this looks like it's potentially Aiden McManus, who just finished here for Fredericktown. Looks like another Freddie right there. Might be Josh Alexander. Now Cardington with a runner home. Centerburg, and now everybody right now that's coming across will be second team all KMAC. There's a couple more that will earn that honor. So that is it. That is your all KMAC team that has just finished here. Here's the final kick for the rest of the pack. Still plenty more runners, about half the field yet still to come home. And sometimes that's what you're gonna get at the end of the race. So much grit and determination. Leaving it all on the line here, and why not? So we're about 18 minutes here into the action now. We'll have some official times for you folks. Still a lot of great kicks left here in the middle and near the back of the field. Nobody taking their foot off the gas. And how could you, with all these folks out here lining up the perimeter, cheering on these runners? Just straight will at this point. Our finish line cam. And we'll show you what it kind of looks like from their vantage point coming through this way. This is the final home stretch, about the last 50 yards. Pretty cool scene on hand here down near the finish line. You hear some of these grunts. I mean, these kids still pushing hard. A couple East Knox runners coming through at the 20.5-minute mark. Centerburg landing another one home. And then just a big embrace for everybody down here on this end. With most of the field home now, we will step aside here in a moment for a quick commercial timeout, and we'll be back. We will hear from Will Baker about his victorious run here today, and then also we'll wrangle up as many of the top finishers as we can find here in Fredericktown, and still plenty more action to come. The girls race on deck as well here at the Kokosing Dam. lining up here, ready to chit-chat with us about today's competition in the race. We're going to begin with the East Knox Bulldog, Lucas Holland, in a time of 17:20 here today. So you were near the front of the pack up there trying to compete for that all KMAC. The top 22 competitors get in there. How much of that was on your mind here today, just trying to ensure that you were up there and you were going to get some recognition?
You just got to push through it, no matter how you feel. Just push through the race.
Tell me about, for you, like individually, what is that process like? Do you hum a song in your head? Do you try to do some breathing techniques? How do you stay cool in the moment?
Breathing techniques, try not to think too much about what's going on, and just, yeah.
Great conditions here today. Obviously it was in the lower 60s. The sun's peeking out. Is this kind of ideal running weather, would you say?
Yeah, I'd say definitely. It's great weather.
And then the time of 17:20, was that the anticipation? A little bit lower, a little bit higher? Where'd you finish?
I was aiming for about 17:30, so I got that.
And what was your PR this year?
17:20.
Hey, congratulations. So you hit that here in the KMAC Championships. Thanks so much for the time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we'll bring in your teammate. We've got Logan Whitney now. Logan, 17:38, where does that rank in terms of what you've done so far this season?
That's my top time of the season, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's been a rough season, but that's all you can do is power through it. So,
give me a little bit more insight. Why rough, and why do you think that today was the day that you had the opportunity to have your best time?
The conditions were great, like you said. The ground wasn't too hard. It was pretty moist, and it's just been a rough season. We've got a new coach, and it's just been a transition year, but it's been a pretty good transition year for being a transition year. So,
how much fun is it out there on the course when there's that big slew of runners, and obviously you're competing within the league? You know a lot of these guys. A lot of smiles out there on the course?
Yeah, it's great to compete with so many people that you know and have seen over the years grow. And, yeah, there's no feeling like it. So,
all right, congratulations on hitting a PR today.
All right, thank you.
All right, we're going to bring in a couple of Trojans now. We're going to begin with Ethan Jackson. 16:29 today, and you said you weren't 100% sure, but that's probably right on the cusp of being top 10. So was that an area that you were kind of like eyeing that you felt like you could finish?
I had been stuck in the 17:20s the whole season, so I was just hoping to go sub 17, and I definitely got that.
Yeah, you crushed it. Was this a PR for you here today?
Oh, massive PR, yeah. Yeah, I'm so happy.
Great conditions, of course. What else do you think influenced that and played into you running your best time?
I would say the pack that I was running with, very fast people, and a couple of them ended up beating me, which is, to be expected, just always pushing up with the next best people.
How much does that matter when you're out on the course and you're running next to guys that are maybe going at a little bit different pace, a little bit faster than you're accustomed to, trying to help you take your game to a new level?
Oh, it's huge. When you're racing against people, you start hurting at certain points in the race, and you know that they're hurting too. So that's just motivation for you to start pushing, because you know that you can pass them a little more easily, and it pushes you way more outside your comfort zone than you normally would have been.
Hey, big congrats to you to push through and to have your best time of the season.
Thank you very much.
All right, continued success to you. And we'll now bring in Andrew. And Andrew, 17:17 for you here today, but I heard you chit-chatting with Ethan. You said that he got you here today, but you got time on your side. Do you feel like you can do better in the future?
I feel like I definitely can. I feel like I got a good season ahead of me this year and these last couple of races, and next year as well. He's a senior, I'm only a junior, so I got that next year to get ahead of him.
KMAC Championships, this is a big one, of course. All of your conference mates out here competing against one another. How much do you enjoy this particular race?
This particular race I do enjoy a lot. There's a lot of good competition, a lot of good runners here to keep me on my toes. It's really good.
Obviously, Mount Gilead has been kind of the cream of the crop so far this season, ranked #1 in Division III. How about Centerburg as a unit? What can you tell me about this team from top to bottom, and how do you feel like you guys are going to do moving now into the districts?
So Centerburg, we might not have all the runners here, but the runners we do have, they're very committed. We're like a family, and we always push each other during practice, and we make sure that in the races we're not running for ourselves, but we're running to bring glory to God.
That's huge. As long as you can pay homage to the man upstairs and then have that family atmosphere, it's going to carry you a long way. So continued success, and congratulations on a good run today.
Thank you very much.
All right, so there you heard from a couple of Bulldogs, a couple of Trojans. We've got the entire Mount Gilead team, who a lot of them finishing at the front of the pack. They're going to come over and talk with us here soon. But the girls' race, I think, we're about 2 minutes away from them shooting off the starting horn. So I'm going to flip-flop back over here. I'm going to get back on drone duty, and we're going to bring you that coverage. And they are off. The girls' KMAC Championship is underway. And look at Tess Schultz of Loudonville skirting her way out to the front of the pack as expected. An undefeated senior season so far for that Loudonville Redbird. She is a huge favorite coming into today's competition, as they are just about 30 seconds here off the starting line, and a much smaller pack than what we saw for the boys here, competing to try to be the KMAC Runner of the Year. It has unquestionably been Tess Schultz so far to this point in the season. As mentioned, she has yet to be defeated. Committed to Florida Gulf Coast, where she's going to study some marine biology. She'll compete in cross country along with track and field. And you look at just how much she's progressed from the start of the season until now. We saw her clear back in August at the Northmor Invite, crush the competition there in 19:20. Saw her a couple weeks later at Seneca East, hit at 18:26, so improving by about a full minute. Then also we had seen her over at Ashland and Dover and West Holmes, and some decent sized fields up there as well. 115 runners competing in Ashland. She ran at 18:49 to win. Dover, 114 competitors. Wasn't her best performance, but a 19:37 got it done that day. And West Holmes, about 52 competitors there. She broke 19 minutes again. And that's Tess out in front, kind of leaving some of the competition already in her wake as they're about to make their first turn up and around the wooded area here. A couple of other runners to keep an eye on. You see Kimberly Staley down there running in the third spot right now for Mount Gilead. She's had a terrific campaign as well. She'll be up for the KMAC Athlete of the Month when we unveil all of the nominees for that on the OH Report on Monday. She's been top 10 in nearly every race so far this year. We saw her at the Tiger Classic with a 4th place finish. Mount Gilead as a team too, having a pretty quality year. 16th ranked in the state right now in Division 3. Gwen Hirschner's up there near the front. She can go down in the low 20s. Saw her at the Tiger Classic with a 6th place finish. 20:33 on that particular occasion. And then for Northmor, seeing a couple of Lady Knights up there near the front of the pack. Ryan Brinkman, she's been in the mid to low 20s all year. Natalie Hunter's the low 21s. So each of those competitors anticipating being in contention for first team or second team all Knox-Morrow Athletic Conference. As there is the lone runner up in the front of the field. We'll go follow Tess here for a little while. She's been in back this way. And she's got a lot of fanfare. how can you not be impressed with what she's been able to do so far in her senior season? And I believe she is the defending KMAC champion as well. She's about to cross your screen right there. And you see kind of nobody behind her. We'll get out in front here of Tess. This is kind of what she's seeing, all lined up out in front of her. Plenty of fans out here to see Miss Schultz. But this is what's behind her. Nice battle going on right now for second place. Runners number 2 through 11 will be named first team all KMAC. Already a healthy amount of distance in between Tess and then the next couple of runners, and then probably an even bigger gap when we start getting into the mix right here. So that's your 4th through 7th place runners all in that little bundle. And that runner that we're right behind from East Knox in 8th. Very cool to kind of see it from their vantage point. As mentioned, just perfect conditions on hand. Temperatures in the lower 60s today up here at Kokosing Dam, just on the outskirts of Fredericktown. Had such a lousy weather a season ago. It was rainy and cold, and I think you talked to a lot of the competitors after the event. They were pretty happy just to kind of get it in the books. Has not been the case out here today. Obviously, there's some short sleeves and a lot of smiles, and a lot of the junior high kids hanging out, watching the high school kids where they're going to be here soon. That's kind of what athletics and school sports are all about. Working your way up the ladder to the point where you're a varsity athlete, and then that's when you start hitting the OH report. So these runners making their turn and heading their way down the dam. It's one of the really cool venues that we have in North Central Ohio. I think we're about halfway through now. You might not be able to hear it here on our broadcast, but there are a lot of cheers. Some cowbells, some whistles out here. Love the fanfare for cross country. Maybe nothing quite beats the Seneca East Stars, Stripes, and Lights. But when you start getting these conference competitions going on, there's so much of familiarity, and you know a lot of these runners. You've been competing against them all year, your entire careers. What I really love is that everyone just kind of supports one another, all cheering on the next person. That's what makes competition so cool. Here is our leader, Tess Schultz. Winding her way back, and what's neat about this course is she gets a chance to kind of demoralize the competition. She gets to see them on her way by, and that'll happen on a couple more occasions here. Tent City, where all the teams have been hanging out, taking a load off. While we all kind of anticipate that Tess is going to win the individual championship here today, I think kind of open season in terms of who may end up being your team champion. Now, Gilead's got a strong team from top to bottom. Northmor with a couple of tough runners as well. And Fredericktown too, it looks like they've got a few competitors. They're up near the front of the field. Get a nice look here of the leaders as they pass by. That, of course, is the Loudonville senior Tess Schultz. Follow along with her for a little bit. Really impressive just in terms of the stamina to try to keep this pace going the entire time. She is a dynamo. She has been a great one. Soon to be a three-time All-Ohioan. And I think that she's got some potential, certainly to finish very high in the Division III state championships, I should say. And look at the big lead she's got right now over the rest of the field. A couple of girls from Cardington keeping each other's selves paced. That's Kimberly Staley right now in second. So it looks like the top two likely going to be solidified here. There's our third place runner. And then things get a bit more jumbled after that. So the battle for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, it'll all just be a matter of who's got a nice kick. There's a nice look at a lot of the fields coming through. Getting close to the conclusion here of this one. Up top there to the left is the finish line where these competitors will make their way, along with a lot of cheers as folks starting to accumulate in and around that particular area. Looks like a good chunk here of the runners are going to be about 21 minutes or below. Just look at the crowd. All the hand claps. You want to give them a high five. Even some dogs, canine cam out here. Always on the lookout for those. Just a really cool visual course. And as I mentioned during the boys race, I think all of it comes on the grass, so it just really helps. You know, low impact on your knees. And that's why you heard of PR after PR during the boys race when we talked to a couple of Centerburg Trojans and then a few competitors from East Knox. Just ideal conditions out here. Top 21 racers will all be all KMAC. Schultz certainly looks like she's going to be the KMAC Runner of the Year. Then after that, the next 10 will be first team all league. And then after that, we'll get the next 10 will be second team all KMAC. Here comes the final stretch now for Tess Schultz. She gets one more look at the competition, or rather they get a look at her. They've been behind basically since the start. Making her way through the parade. What a season, undefeated so far for Tess. As she makes her final loop. We'll show you that. Then the drone is on devastating battery mode, so I'll have to put it down as soon as we see Tess cross that finish line. Boy, what a race for Schultz, and as you see the side-by-side get out of the way, that means that it is time for finish line as the fanfare picking up. And there goes Schultz. So I'm gonna have to unhook. I'm gonna go land this drone. I'll be back and we'll break down the end of this race. So the drone successfully has landed in its home. As you see these KMAC competitors coming through the finish line in a little bit of pain and anguish. But that's what it takes to be able to compete and be one of these all KMAC performers, first teamers. These are second teamers coming through now. Just absolutely unloading the tank to the point of complete and total exhaustion. But very awesome to see just how many of these young ladies do leave it all out here. They'll push themselves to the brink. I've seen Tess on multiple occasions. I mean, she collapses at the end of her races. That's what it takes out of her. That's what it requires to be a dominant cross-country competitor. Still got about half the field yet to complete their runs here. There's a look at Tess hanging out with her fam. Enjoying today's victory, as she has every single time that she has taken to a competition this year. What a great achievement. Both her and our champion for the boys today, Will Baker, have not lost yet. Takes a special type of athlete to be able to accomplish those feats. See a lot of signs being put up here in the sky as Northmor brings a runner across Fredericktown right behind, and then Northmor again, another Lady Knight. Now Gilead gets another finisher home. And anybody who has done a 5K knows that feeling of, I mean, just exhaustion, but also relief after you've made it to your home point. Two more Gold Knights and a late kick by the Freddies. Cardington gets someone home. Now a nice race between Cardington-Lincoln and Fredericktown there. Freddies just about have all of their racers beyond the finish line. As Cardington gets one home here and starting to get to the last few finishers. So we'll go ahead and take a quick commercial timeout, and we will round up some of these all KMAC performers here for the ladies. We'll see if we can talk to the champion for the boys as well, and whatever else we have battery life for here. No power. It's kind of, our generator died about midway through the girls race, so we're just living on a prayer and one battery here. So we'll be right back here at Kokosing Dam, see who we can catch up with.
had really weak lungs from the start. I have scar tissue in my lungs, so it just all totaled up to me going down, and my body probably needed it. It gave tachycardia.
Check test 1 2 3 4 5. Check 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 check. All right, we're kind of just all running off of battery power and prayers here, so when you, we welcome you back here to the Kokosing Dam for the KMAC Championships with the champion of the league, Tess Schultz. Congratulations on a nice run and a PR for you today. What do you think played into that?
The training my coach had me doing while I was down, and just my team, the support from everybody. I mean, my pastor even came out to support me today. And then these other ladies around here racing, I couldn't be able to do this without their push. Just seeing other people run, pacing. The people that are helping run the meet, I can't do it without the lead gator. It's a little lonely up there, but I mean, it's so nice just to have all these lovely people out here racing with me today. They're just amazing. Everybody's support. I mean, it's not all just about me and my hard work. It's about everybody else that comes together to help me. I couldn't do this without my coaches or my team.
You mentioned that one's kind of the loneliest number when you're up there running by yourself. That's where you've been the entire season, still undefeated so far. Was that the expectation coming into this year? And if not, how impressed are you with yourself?
It wasn't the expectation. I just wanted to have a better season than last year. So I am extremely impressed with myself, but I'm also really impressed with my coach. I had this college coach that was collaborating with her to figure out a better workout plan, and I honestly could not do any of this without it, because the workout plan she figured out for me helped so much with my stamina and my conditioning. Her and the assistant coach, her sister, they're just such amazing people, and I couldn't do this without their advice and their prayers and their help.
So as you get ready to go into tournament time as the KMAC champion, you defend your title, what are you looking to accomplish when you start getting into the playoffs? Are you state championship material this year?
I really hope. I'm just praying. I'm hoping the Lord will be with me, answering my prayers. It's all part of His plan, so I'm just going to let it roll and figure it out while I'm going. And, I mean, I am ranked second in the district, and then we'll come out with regional and state rankings after that. So I wish everybody luck. They're all such great competitors.
Well, great run here today. If you want to look in the camera and give any shout-outs for your victorious journey.
Absolutely. I love shout-outs. Just my coaches, my teammates, especially my teammates, the parents, my family, my community. I couldn't do this without everybody's support, and especially like my church community and everybody around there, and then especially the other racers. I could not do it without other racers.
All right, big ups to you today, Tess. Thank you so much for the time, and continued success as you get deeper into your playoff journey.
Thank you so much.
All right, my pleasure. Tess Schultz from Loudonville, the senior, continues to be undefeated. This is our only camera. So I will tell you, Tess has gone through a lot this year. You said that they're dealing with like episodes of like bronchitis and some other things. So I see you at the end of the races, and normally it takes you a little while to get back up on your feet and feel like you're ready to chit chat with us. So if you can give us just a little bit more insight about what it really takes for you to push yourself to the limit day in, day out, and on each race day.
A lot of praying. The distraction of my teammates helps so much. Being on the line with them, talking, doing activity, it just helps so much. It's a lot of mental toughness. So while I'm running, I'm saying prayers and just focus. A lot of focus, like, okay, I'm this far away, I need to do this. And I've actually worked with one of my math teachers and like creating a math strategy on like, oh, I'm this far away, I need to go this much faster. So it's nice. It's a lot, but it helps so much, and it's just amazing.
All right, really appreciate that insight. All right, go hang out with your fans and enjoy your Saturday.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. All right, so still the last couple of runners are coming across here at the Kokosing Dam. And how about it? Some high fives out here, and you love seeing it. Tess obviously has a lot of fanfare out here, not just within the Loudonville community, but in the greater KMAC community as well. And right behind me, a whole pack of Northmor runners all getting a group photo. So, you know, these are the moments. This is what I really think makes cross country a special type of sport. Is it's not just the individual effort, it's the entire team atmosphere as well. And it all just bleeds together and makes it for something that's really fun, really exciting, and Always happy to be a part of these, coming out here and watching these great athletes push themselves to the absolute brink of destruction, but somehow, some way, they make it across the finish line, and then they build themselves back up for the next one. How are we looking on battery life over there? So we can still hang out for a little bit. I would like to hear from Will Baker and the Mount Gilead boys cross country victorious team effort today. They went to go do a little cool down, and I haven't seen them here as of late. Oh, actually, I do see Mr. Baker now walking over here. So this is great timing. Here comes all of the Indians. So I'm going to try to conduct an interview on this camera. We'll get them coming over this way. Gentlemen, we're down to our last camera and our last battery, so if you just want to kind of line up here, I'll come chit-chat with you. Begin down here at the end with the champion of the day, Mr. Baker. Congratulations, still undefeated so far on the season, and a great time for you. Awesome conditions. Take me through the run.
Yeah, I mean, the goal of the race was to simulate the postseason races, being probably mostly alone throughout the race, just work on my own race. And yeah, really work those late stages of the race that I think I did well, and then it proved to work pretty well.
Keeping the pace that you do throughout the race, what do you do internally to continue to motivate yourself throughout the duration of about those 15 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely hard. It's definitely a new skill I've had to learn, is running alone. I think going through the race and remembering why I do what I do, thinking about that, thinking about having a bunch of guys that are running behind me that are all to the same goal. I think that's the biggest motivator for me, is to run for this team that I love, and I know that they love me back. So.
All right, we'll hear from the rest of the team. Thank you so much, Will, for the time here. Sir, if you will just tell us your name and your time here today.
So my name's Tommy. I'm not sure exactly what my time was, but I believe I got under 16:30. So that's been my goal for a long time this season. So.
Yeah, pretty impressive time out there. Probably landing you in the top 20 and an all KMAC performance here this afternoon. So, got to be pretty happy with the race. Take me through yours.
So, I mean, it's definitely been like a good course, and I remember during even middle school and stuff. So, it's always been familiar, and it's always been a good course as well. So, and during it, I just kind of remember the different loops and stuff. So.
The number one team in Division III right now coming into today, and now the team KMAC champions. How satisfying has the season been so far up to this point?
It's been very satisfying just watching as times drop, and watching our team do good and stuff like that. So, and just really being there for our team. So.
Well, big congratulations on a big race here today. Thank you for the time. Please tell the folks who you are and what your time was today.
My name is Owen Hirschner, and I ran a 15:58.
That's a heck of a time, and that landed you at number 2, I believe, here today. Is that correct? So finishing 1-2 here today for Mount Gilead. Obviously a very impressive feat. How cool is it to be a part of this in this season? And you guys have kind of been doing that a lot here in these competitions.
It was just amazing going. I saw a couple kids in front of me, and I knew I wanted to go out conservative, and I just wanted to keep my pace and just do what I've always done.
And what's that game like for you internally? How do you continue to push yourself if there's people in front of you to stay at their pace? Or maybe if there's not, maybe Will's out in front and you got to kind of maintain your own. What's effective for you to know that you're kind of running at your best strategy?
I like to stay calm and just know that I can do really good, but also I don't have to do really good. Because last time I put a lot of pressure on myself and I didn't run my best. but yeah.
All right, well, congratulations. Second place finish today, correct?
Yes.
Good stuff for you. So first team all KMAC performer. All right, next up, your name and your time here today.
My name is Henry Bartlett, and I ran 16:34.
So another fantastic time. Do you know where that landed you in terms of qualifying, crossing the finish line?
I was 5th or 6th, maybe 7th.
So first team all KMAC, is that something that you thought about coming into today, something that you wanted to get, or did it just kind of happen naturally throughout the course of the race?
I thought it was a big possibility, but I wasn't sure with Fredericktown's 5 guys. You never know. They might have a good day, but I think pushed through it, did a good job.
What do you think about this particular course? You're running a lot on grass. You get to go up and around over through the dam, and there's some ups and downs. Just compared to some other courses that you guys run on, how would you compare it?
It's a very fast course if you run it well. If you don't push, though, at the right spots, it can be slower. So you really got to stay mentally engaged.
So it kind of helps to have that course knowledge and come out here and know when to push and when to kind of pull back the reins a little bit, would you say?
Yeah, very much so.
All right, so being a part of the #1 team here in Division III, how much fun has this process been throughout the course of the season, from the beginning in August or maybe even the summer runs until now, where you guys are in a great position going into the state tournament to be one of the top contenders?
Oh, it's been amazing. Just to be able to run with these guys is a great opportunity.
All right, thank you so much for the time and for being an all KMAC performer. And then last but not least, look in the camera, tell the folks who you are and your time today.
I'm Nolan Hirschner. I ran like a 16:35.
So everybody just like blistered out here today. You know, great times. How close is that to your PR, or is it?
I PR'd by like 20 seconds today.
My guy, so when you're on a pace that you've never ran before, do you notice it within the field of competition?
Yeah, you definitely noticed it a lot, like especially going out. I was like kind of next to Owen for like at least those first 400 meters, and I was just trying to see how long it was going to hold me and see where it was going to take me.
So take me inside of your own mindset. I asked a couple of the other guys, what do you do for yourself to keep your pace going and ensure that you're not gassing out and that you keep something left in the tank for that nice last push?
I just focus on my race plan that our coach gives me, and I just go out there and perform and just hold on to whoever I can and keep my place wherever I'm at.
And then give me a little bit of insight just about this team as a whole. It seems like you guys all get along. You're pushing one another out there when you're on the course, and certainly probably in practice. And, you know, just what it's like to be a part of this particular group.
It's a great team. We have an amazing team aspect. Everyone loves showing up to practice. Everyone just enjoys it all. And we have a great coach who pushes us, and it's just an amazing team.
Well, you guys are all champions here today, so I'm going to go ahead and hand you the microphone and then pass it down. Give some shout-outs to as many people as you want to help get you in this position.
I'll shout out our coach and my parents.
I'll shout out my coach, my parents, and my great teammates.
I'm going to shout out my parents, my coach, and the varsity boys.
I'm going to shout out coach for sure, and then all of our guys are here, do a great job supporting us no matter what. And then my parents too, showing up to every race. It's awesome.
Yep. And friends, family, and coaches and teammates.
All right, hey, way to go, Mount Gilead. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us here on the OH Report and for being team champions here at the KMAC. I think that's going to do it for us, though, here, guys. You heard from the girls' team champion, or the individual champion, I should say, in Tess Schultz. You heard from Will Baker here from Mount Gilead, along with all of his teammates. It's a really impressive team. But how about the fans out here today making the action happen? Because without them, none of this is possible. That's why they get the shout-outs, and much deservedly so. We appreciate you, though, the fans out there, for tuning in here today to the KMAC Championships. We also have had a couple of ups and downs here throughout the course of our race, but we made it to the finish line, and we are certainly happy that we were able to bring you today's coverage on a gorgeous afternoon on the outskirts of Fredericktown here at the Kokosing Dam. Got to thank Adam Thompson for directing, running camera out here today, and for everybody back at OH Report World Headquarters that always makes your dream of taking in live and free high school sports come true. The award ceremony is about to go down. I'm going to hop over there. I'm going to get some cool pictures that we're going to post on all of our different social media accounts, so you can check those out there. I am Brian Skoronsky, signing out for now. We'll see you guys coming up again on Monday. We'll have the KMAC report on the podcast. So long for now.